Moose vs. Black Panther. The Shadow Hunter vs. Forest Giant Battle Evergreen Tree Fire. Welcome back to my channel Zorvex Animal Pawprints Fire. Today we are entering one of the darkest, coldest, and most dangerous forests on Earth, where survival is controlled only by strength, intelligence, patience, and deadly instincts, because tonight two completely different beasts are about to cross paths in a terrifying battle for survival. The moose, the giant king of frozen forests, against leopard the Black Panther, the silent shadow predator feared across the wild for its stealth, speed, and deadly ambush attacks. And this is not a normal fight, because both animals survive using completely opposite methods. The moose depends on enormous body power, giant antlers, defensive aggression, and unstoppable endurance, while the Black Panther survives through silence, patience, intelligence, flexibility, and perfectly timed attacks that happen before enemies can react. And deep inside this freezing wilderness covered with snow, dark rivers, giant pine trees, and endless shadows, these two animals represent two different forms of natural power colliding in one ultimate survival war. And the moose is one of the largest and strongest animals living inside northern forests, standing taller than many predators with massive muscles, heavy bones, and huge antlers capable of seriously injuring almost anything that comes too close. And even though many people think moose are peaceful animals because they eat plants and move quietly through forests, the truth is completely different, because a fully grown moose can become unbelievably dangerous whenever it feels threatened. During mating season especially, male moose become highly aggressive and territorial, charging through forests with terrifying force, smashing trees, stomping the ground, and attacking enemies without fear. Their long, powerful legs carefully before attacking, waiting patiently for animals now understand another powerful creature is close, but neither can clearly see the other yet. And after several long moments, the moose continues walking deeper into the forest, where thick trees and rocky terrain create more shadows and less visibility, unknowingly giving the Black Panther better cover for stealth attacks. And the predator slowly lowers its body closer to the snow, while muscles tighten with explosive energy, ready to attack at any second. And suddenly, without warning, the Black Panther launches forward from darkness like a living shadow missile, leaping toward the moose with terrifying speed, aiming claws and jaws toward the neck area. But the moose reacts instantly with shocking aggression, swinging its massive antlers sideways while turning violently, forcing the panther to twist in midair to avoid being impaled. And the predator lands back onto snow before jumping away rapidly, while the moose roars furiously and stomps the ground with enough force to shake nearby snow from tree branches, instantly transforming the frozen forest into a deadly battlefield. And now the Black Panther begins circling carefully around the giant animal, searching for openings while avoiding direct confrontation, because it understands fully that one direct hit from those antlers or giant hooves could end the fight immediately. While the moose keeps turning aggressively, refusing to expose weak angles and occasionally charging forward with explosive speed despite its enormous body, forcing the panther to dodge repeatedly through rocks, fallen trees, and icy ground. And minutes pass as both creatures test each other carefully, the panther relying on agility, patience, and stealth movement, while the moose depends on intimidation, stamina, and overwhelming force. And as darkness grows deeper, the panther gains more confidence, because nighttime is its true kingdom, its eyes seeing clearly through shadows, while the moose becomes more defensive and alert, breathing heavily as steam rises into freezing air. And suddenly the panther attacks again from behind, striking quickly at the moose's rear leg with sharp claws before escaping instantly back into darkness, drawing blood for the first time. But instead of weakening the giant animal, the injury only increases its rage, causing the moose to charge wildly through the forest, smashing branches and pushing through thick snow, trying desperately to crush the silent predator. And the Black Panther leaps onto rocks and fallen logs with incredible flexibility, avoiding attack after attack while continuing to pressure the larger opponent mentally and physically. And this terrifying survival battle continues through the freezing night as exhaustion slowly begins affecting both animals, the moose losing speed but remaining unbelievably dangerous, while the panther burns energy through constant movement and precision attacks. And finally, after hours of brutal tension, the Black Panther decides to risk one final major attack, hiding silently above a rocky path where shadows are deepest and movement space is limited. And as the moose carefully walks below, scanning the darkness, the panther explodes downward with full force, landing partially onto the giant animal's shoulder and neck area, while claws grip tightly and jaws attempt to bite deeply through thick fur, causing the moose to roar with explosive rage while thrashing violently from side to side, trying to throw the predator away. snow and ice flying everywhere across the battlefield. And after several terrifying seconds, the moose manages to smash the panther against frozen ground before charging forward again, attempting to crush it completely beneath giant hooves. But the black panther barely escapes by rolling sideways at the last possible moment. And now both animals stand wounded, exhausted, and breathing heavily while staring at each other across the snowy darkness. Blood visible on fur while freezing wind moves silently through trees around them. And in that moment, both legendary creatures understand something important. Survival matters more than reckless destruction, because nature does not always reward endless fighting. Sometimes survival itself is victory. And slowly the black panther begins stepping backward into darkness while keeping eyes locked on the giant forest beast. And after several tense seconds, the predator disappears silently between trees until only shadows remain, leaving the moose standing alone beneath falling snow, injured but alive. Victorious not because of hunting skill but because of raw endurance, fearless defense, and unstoppable strength, while the black panther survives because of intelligence, patience, and strategic thinking, proving once again that in nature true power exists in many different forms. And according to wildlife analysis, the moose dominates in physical strength, body durability, and defensive combat, while the black panther dominates in stealth, agility, intelligence, and deadly ambush precision, making this one of the most cinematic, balanced, and terrifying survival battles ever imagined inside the frozen heart of the wild forest kingdom.